everybody, hello and welcome. This is kind of a new little mini series and I'm aiming to make these videos really short and it's just something that arose yesterday during the live where people were saying, oh, I wish I could draw and I can't draw. And I was saying to you then, you know, if you start, we none of us can draw when we start, but just make a start. And practice every single day. And if you practice every day for a short while, you'll soon look at what you've done and look at where you started and you'll be able to see a difference. You'll progress. You'll get better. You will. It's impossible not to. So this is what we're going to be doing today. It's not about the colouring. I just couldn't resist it. I just couldn't. I've tried really hard, but I couldn't. So I've chosen something really simple. I've seen some beautiful ones in the group already. The Miss Paint-A-Lot's Junk Journal group. Judy and Kyung have posted daffodil and lilies. Daisies, sorry, Kyung. And they're exceptional. They're really good. You don't have to be that good. You don't have to have ever picked a pencil up before in your life. Just give it a try. So I've sought myself out a new sketchbook. And at some stage I'll cover the cover with something nice. It's spiral bound and the pages are quite thick and I think they're probably cartridge paper. I don't think they're anything like watercolour paper or anything, but we'll see. Right, so this is going to be my template. It's out of my head. I don't even know if it is a flower, right? I don't know if there's a flower that looks like this or not, but it looks like a stereotypical flower to me, and it looks like a good place for us to start. Really fairly simple, but don't beat yourself up if you can't do it. Just try again. Okay, so I'm going to be using this pencil. It's Faber-Castell 2B. Look at the acrylic on my hand. 2B. Now the 2B, that's the important bit. The B, when you see pencils that are something B and they go up to 8B, 10B, whatever, the B stands for blackness. So when you lay it down, you can see, you know, it's dark, and the bigger the number, the bigger the B number, the thicker the line, the blacker it is, etc. And the softer it is as well. The other thing that you get is HB, 1H, 2H, 3H, whatever. And the H in that instance stands for hardness. So HB is right in the centre. It's half hard, it's half black. So that tends to be what the kids at school use. I prefer to use the 2B for sketching. It's just a little bit softer. But I would advise against using an H pencil for sketching. They're more for sort of plans and that sort of thing, where you need a very thin and precise line. We want softer lines. Okay, so sorry about that. I couldn't resist telling you that. I'm sorry. I'm going to use this just to look at as a reference, and we'll make a start. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is try and draw this petal. That will give me a sort of size for the rest of it. So I'm going to start here, go up, and then it's an irregular shape, and then it comes down again. So there we have it. We've got one petal. I don't think you can see that. I need to draw that darker, don't I? Like that. Now you can see that. Now you could see that from the moon. So I'm going to come over to this side and I'm going about halfway down this side here to about there. And I'm going to draw another petal. So it's going to have a different shape and it's going to come in just kind of there. Okay, so it's going to stop a little way under that one. Now it might be that that shape doesn't please you. We'll see. We'll see when we've got all the petals on what we think. Now I'm going to come across to the other side. If you're right-handed, obviously I'm left-handed, you might find this petal the easiest one to put in before that one. I don't know because I'm not right-handed. I'm just kind of guessing at that. So here we're going to start you know, about halfway down here again, and we're going to draw another petal in. And this has got another slightly different shape, and come in about the same height there. Okay, so that might end up being a bit short. We'll see. We'll see. We're not going to be hard on ourselves. So this one, this petal here, it comes down, it sort of goes over that other one. Comes down like that. And then the other petal, this petal that's left, goes over that and over that. So we're going to start here, come out, down and back up like that. Okay, so we've got 5 petals on there. Now what I would say is these 2 look larger than these 3. Okay, it's just the way it is. So let's go back into these and just make these a little bit larger. Don't need to draw this bit here. This one needs to be a little bit larger, as does this one. Okay, so now I'm going to take my rubber and I'm going to rub off the lines that are just now confusing me, because I've got so many different lines, and see if what we're left with looks anything like my flower that I want it to look like. So as I say, never be afraid when you've got a pencil. If you've got a rubber or an eraser, it doesn't really matter, does it? You can just take it away. Okay, I don't think that's too bad. Maybe I want that to come around a little bit more, like that. So let's just rub that out there. Okay, so what's happened is we've kind of, this is the centre up here, but we've moved it here. So I'm just going to draw that in there and bring these round into something like a centre point there. Okay, so that's not too bad. We've kind of got a flower of sorts. Now what's happened is we're not looking at this straight. It's not exactly straight onto us. It's just tilting away a little bit. So these 2 petals at the front are coming round like that. They're hiding the centre of the flower, which is in here. So I think that's fine. It's adequate. It's no masterpiece, but it's okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw on the edges a little ripple like that, like the petal is just turning over, just curling over at the edge. And there's no great mystery to this. It's just a little line like that. You can put it kind of where you want it, really. It's just a little curl on the edge and make it look a bit more real, if you like. So there we have it. We have a flower. It's not the best of flowers, but hey, it's not the worst of flowers either. It's okay. I'm just going to rub those out there. There we go. Right. Now the centre of the flower is going to be dark, and it's going to come out from the centre, which is here. And it's in my flower, it's got lots and lots of kind of, I don't know what you call these, stamens, something like that. But it's got a lot coming out of there. There's none coming this way because if you remember, the flower's tilted. So we can only see these front petals and then the stamens that are coming out from beyond that. So let's put some in more firmly than others. And they're not all the same length, but that's fine, like that. Okay, so let's now go around here and really firm up these lines that we've got and our curly bits. So we've arrived at this stage really without too much grief. And like I say, might not be the world's best flower. It doesn't have to be. It absolutely doesn't have to be. There we are. And this one. But don't try and run before you can walk. Just do the easy bits like this. See, now it's beginning to look like a flower now, I think. So, there are darker, the petals in my head have a darker coloration coming up the centre of the petal. So I'm just going to draw that in, like that. And don't be afraid to move your paper. I know loads of people who've told me that art classes at school, the art teacher used to say, don't move your paper, always use your hand. No, that's just not true. You move your paper to where it's comfortable, to where you can make the line that you want to make. So we're just coming out from the petal, centre of the petal, here as well. Like so. And this one might have a bit more because it's quite a wide one. And then this one. And always draw, when you're drawing flowers, always draw from the centre out, because that's the way that the petals grow. You know, don't try and draw it in, because you'll end up with a thicker start point than end point. So if anything, you want your thicker bit to be in the centre and just sweep it out. Okay, so there we have it. We have a flower. I mean, it is a flower. I'm not going to get any more complicated than that with shading underneath petals, etc., etc. That'll come days down the road. What I am going to do is just put a couple of leaves in here, and then you'll feel you've achieved something, you know, a completed thing. So I'm just going to make easy peasy leaves, and I'm going to draw them coming out of here on a twirly sort of line like that, and then here coming out of here, once again twirly kind of line. I'll just thicken that up because you can't really see that very well. Like that. And then the leaves themselves, this is going to be the vein that goes up the centre of our end leaf. So come back a little bit and then just draw like that. So it's like that. So that's the shape. And then here we're going to have another one coming out. This is going to be the vein for the centre of this one. So the same sort of thing, that sort of shape. And let's just do one more coming off down here. So you start, I don't know what that is, ½ an inch back. Just draw like that. And like that, marry them up at the end. Then we'll do some on here. This is going to be the vein for the centre. There we go, and we'll bring one down here. And one up here. And maybe let's get clever on this and say that one has come out here. So this stem's going back that way. So one's come out here like that. So let's draw a leaf there. Okay, there we are. That's it. Excuse me. Now what I tend to do, but you do not have to do it. I've done that in pencil. I'm quite happy with it. Anybody would look at that and say it's a flower and leaves. So we've achieved what we set out to achieve. What I like to do when I've finished and I've done all my shading and everything else, I like to get a fine liner pen. They come in all sorts of nib sizes from 0.1 right up. This is a 0.3. It's a Unipin fine line. I like 0.3, it's a nice thickness. 0.1, you have to be so careful because the end's so fragile, you can break them really easily. 0.3 gives you a nice line, nice thickness, and the nib doesn't break quite so easily. So what I will do is I'm going to go over our leaves, and I don't care if I follow the line exactly. I like it when I don't. So I've gone twice over this, quite squiggly, and I'm going to follow this down quite squiggly again, round here a couple of times, trying not to be too perfect in any way. And this way, honestly, it covers a multitude of sins and looks brilliant. So there we are. And onto the flower itself. So I'm just going to do it petal by petal, a couple of squiggly lines. And you should be enjoying this, because if you don't like it, nobody's going to know you even did it. You know what I mean? It's a private thing. If you want to share it, yes, we'd all love to see it, but you don't have to share it. But I would love to see your progress over the period of time as we step up to doing, you know, more complex ones maybe. But in time, we're not rushing this. So I'm just going to put some of these centre pieces in with my fine liner, add some detail to it, and it's very dark there in that centre, like that. Then we've got our lines on our petals. And it doesn't matter if you're following your pencil lines. Don't forget, we have an eraser. We have the magic tool. The pencil gave us the idea where to go, and now we're just finishing it off with the fine liner. So onto this line and squiggle it a bit. Squiggle, squiggle, do this leaf. This one. And I think once you've done this, you'll feel better about it. This gets rid of sort of the exactness of it, if you like. You might not like this. You might want to leave yours just a pencil, that's fine. Everything about drawing is really quite personal choice. There we are. Right. So as I say, there's loads we could do with shading, etc., etc. I'm just going to take my eraser now and get rid of all my pencil lines. So we're just left with the fine liner marks. And there we have it. That's our flower and leaves, a composition in fact. So give it a go, see what you think. I just bet you surprise yourself. Don't try and get any more fun, unless you're, you know, like Linda or somebody who's an artist. But for me, that's fine for today. If you can just have an attempt at that, maybe 2, 3, 4 attempts at it. Who knows? You don't have to share it, like I say, but if you do want to share it, we would love to see it on the group. I know we would. And you know how encouraging everybody is, so don't feel a ninny or anything. You know, every single person starts somewhere. So give it a go. Let's see how you go. And thanks for watching. See you tomorrow with another Let's Draw. Bye.